man? It's me, truck driver Sean. Yeah. So we're revisiting. Well, is it considered revisiting? I don't know. But anyway, I decided I wanted to find a guitar to mod, and the fine folks at Solar Guitars was having a really good summer sale. So I decided to snag one because I got it for $325. Damn near nothing, right? Okay, let's rip into this thing. Yeah. Manhandle that sumbitch. There we go. Fuck it. It's a box in a box. Whoops. Alright. It really is a box in a box. The box is stuck. Come the fuck on, man. So I will say this is, before it was literally the cheapest Solar on the planet, was already one of their the cheapest model they sell. Yes, I did not buy a high dollar one because I'm going to mod it. Why go pay for appointments that you're going to change anyway, right? Alright, so let's see what we got here. More box shit. Alright, we got the token. Well, this is going to be different. It has a hard shell case, but I got stuff for a Floyd Rose. And a whole lot of tools. It's literally a fixed bridge. Alright. Interesting. Oh, my chug dampener. There's supposed to be two of them. Decided I'd try those just to, you know, for laughs, for the gigs, for the giggles. There's some of those gel packs so you can make people you don't like lunch. And I do not see in there anywhere where the second one would be. Huh? I literally don't see it anywhere. Apparently they only sent me one. Interesting. Alright. What can you do? You know? People in Spain apparently can't count. 2's a hard number. Make sure it wasn't stuck to something before it sat right in my mouth. Oh, I'm dumb there about counting. Weren't even fucking cognizant enough to look. Alright. So there we go. This is the AB2.6IRO. It runs normally $649. They had it half price for their summer sale. Pretty simple guitar. It literally came from Spain, so I'll strum it, but I mean at the end of the day, if this thing's in tune, we'll just call it a miracle, right? It's out of tune, but it's kind of a cool sounding chord. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! The vagina will show up and put pee-pees in mouths. Alright, anyhow. It needs to be tuned. I'm not going to do a setup on it. I will tune it. Because if I did a setup, it would be cheating. But it's got to be in tune. So yeah, let's talk about what this thing has in it. And they send you a bag, which I don't know if Solar's... I haven't gotten a Solar guitar in a very long time. I used to roll real hard with Solar, as a lot of people might know. You might recognize me from that guy who traveled all over the United States, putting them in people's hands all week, every week, for years. And I don't know. It just became one of those things where, I don't know, just the, geez, I want to make sure I word this right. It was no longer beneficial for both parties. We'll just call it that. I have no problem with Solar guitars. Obviously, I went there looking for a guitar mod because they're a good platform guitar. All right, so anyways, we got the tools for a Floyd Rose. We do not have a Floyd Rose. Just, yeah. Okay, so the I1RO stands for, well, let's go through the whole thing. AB2.6IRO. AB is their A series bolt-on neck. Okay? I know a lot of people are like, oh no, it's a bolt-on. You know what? Bolt-on necks are amazing guitars. They're a little more snappier. Just because it has a bolt-on neck doesn't mean it's garbage. I mean, let's face it. I mean, Ernie Ball Reserve has been making bolt-on necks for quite a while. None of those are garbage. None of them. All right, so AB is the A series bolt-on. 2.6 means it is the entry level. An A2 is entry. 6, number of strings. 1RO is just the code. The RO stands for red oxidized. And it's matte. It looks really like almost like what they'd used to like blood stain stuff with. It's actually quite, I gotta say, I like the color a lot. It's like really, really, really good. And it's very stunning. You know, for being the cheapest guitar they have, it's actually extremely stunning. It's got a good weight to it. It feels good. No rattles and shakes except for me because I'm fat. Everything moves on me when I move. Got titties like a woman. All right. We have a mahogany body. We have a maple bolt-on neck. It is it's what we call a comfy C. It's a C-shaped neck, but it's super comfy, like the old Charvels and Jacksons and stuff. It's ridiculously comfortable. Solar has always had a very comfortable neck. Whether you're playing a 7-string, an 8-string, a 6-string, their necks are just really, really comfortable. And they're interchangeable. So if you like how this one feels, you're going to like how the other one feels, because they're the same neck. If it's a 6-string, the neck profile is exactly the same. They might be made with a couple different appointments, but it is what it is, right? Okay, we have a rosewood fingerboard, which has supposed to have been colored, but this one is not. It is brown. It is not black. It's brown. But with the color of this guitar, I mean, yeah, it would look a little better if it was black. But then again, it was a $325 guitar. I'm not going to complain. All right. On your rosewood, your non-colored rosewood neck, which rosewood's not supposed to be colored anyway, so it's easier to deal with than ebony, right? You have your typical 11, 12, 13 Solar inlay, which if you look at my older inlay compared to this one, they actually look like they've done something different, and it was probably because they had a little bit of a problem with fretboards just not being their friend for a little while. And that might be part of the solution to that, was doing the inlay a little different. It looks a little more dainty, but yet at the same time, I actually prefer it. It does look really good. See? Still looks good. It's the way it should be. Just my other one's a little more chunkier. Chunky. Yeah, it's like me. It's a little fucking round. All right. 24 super jumbo nickel frets. They are, I was going to say frets, they're nickel, but nickel frets tells you the nickel. Yeah, I didn't think that went through very well, did I? 25.5-inch scale, 13-inch radius. It has solar garbage tuners on them. That'll be the first thing that gets modded. Tuners are going, see you later, bye-bye. Because they are garbage. But it's, these guitars that are made in those factories, they're just garbage tuners. They do the job, but I'm fussy. So I'll have lock-in tuners on it. They are 18.1. You have the old-fashioned standard, I guess you call it, the gold standard for Solar pickup. It's a Seymour Duncan design for Solar. It's the original one. It's not the modern, which means it's going to be kind of like a medium output, kind of do everything pickup. They don't sound absolutely horrible. I am going to change it out though. I picked up a slug to put in it. But, that's the whole thing with modding, is you get to make something really ridiculous. So I made sure I got the most ridiculous pickup on the planet, right? Has a fixed bridge. It's supposed to emulate a hip shot. And I'm going to say it's different than my old one. It actually looks like it's built a little bit better. But time will tell. Has a single volume knob, which I gotta say, compared to my old one, my pink one, the Pepto Pussy I call it, that's a really good feeling pot. Like, it's got a good resistance on it, smooth. It's smooth like baby nuts. All right. And it has a PPS nut. So someone asked me the other day, what's a PPS nut? I love the fact that Solar Guitars puts it down as a PPS nut. That is a plastic piece of shit. PPS. Plastic piece of shit nut. It's horrible. Needs to be replaced. Any guitar you buy from overseas, after made in the Korean or the Indonesian or the Chinese, not 100% about the Japanese ones, but I'm going to think they don't, because the made in Japan ones are kind of revered. So I'm going to go with they don't have the plastic piece of shit nut. But it's a simple $10 charge for yourself. They're easy to pop off. If you're wondering how to pop them off, it's super simple. You just take your strings off, and then obviously you're going to be inside the fret. It's nice and square right there. Take anything. A guitar pedal. If you vape like I do, if you're one of those fucking assholes, excuse me while I hit this thing while I picked it up. Just tap it. Come right at it, just like so. It'll knock it out every single time. Clean up the cavity. Get yourself a little bit of wood glue, super glue, any kind of glue, because it does not take very much. 2 little drops, one on each end, or you can do one in the middle too if you're a little worried. Hold it in place. You just replaced your nut. It's super easy. People get a little freaked out by it. Just the big thing is make sure when you knock this out, you clean the cavity it comes out of. That's the big part. And always measure your nut before you do anything, because you want to make sure you're putting the same height nut in, or else you have to redo everything from stem to stern on your guitar. Which I prefer to do it that way myself, because I usually sit a little high. Even if I was going to keep the plastic piece of shit nut, I would shave it down on the bottom a little bit, because it gives you a little bit of high action on your first fret, redonkulously high action. But yeah, it bolts on with 5 bolts, by the way, which is always a nice touch. And at a budget price point, that's just really good. It has the typical really, really bad jack, which will replace that with a Tonecraft. The bridge will be coming off. I'm going to run this stock for a couple weeks, maybe a month, just to get some use out of it, so I have some contrast to what I'm doing, because I'm eventually going to put a hip shot IBI on it. It's going to get a slug, locking tuners. I'm going to get myself a good graphite black tusk nut that will go on there. Unless I can find an Ernie ball compensated nut that sits as high as it needs to for this, that would be the difference. And yeah, just the electronics, the pot. I don't know if I'm going to change the pot. Really, it depends on how it behaves when I use it, because it's actually really, really smooth. That's an improvement over the one I got 4 years ago, I guess. That's how old my pink pussy one is. Pepto Pussy. It's because it's the same color as Pepto Bismol. And Pussy's pink. Alright, yeah, so I went kind of long-winded Jones on you assholes. So, let's plug this up. Well, I'm gonna... You know what? Watch this cool little video. And then, intro, or whatever you want to call it. I'll get this thing hooked up. We're going to use the MI Audio Megalith Gamma. That is going into my custom Arachnid 2x12 cab. And that's it, man. Yeah, be right back. What's up, man? We got it tuned up. And, yeah, it's tuned up. There's a tiny bit of back bow on the neck. Obviously, it came from Spain all the way to Joplin, Missouri. So you're talking about two different complete... Everything is different. This poor guitar, it has been on tour, right? The action is set for, well, not for me. This is the highest action I've ever got on a guitar in my life. I've been through a few fucking guitars. That is one thing I can say is different than, I had like 15 Solars at one point in time. And they all showed up out of tune, obviously. Unless it was an Evertune, that was perfectly in tune. But, this guitar, the action, shit. I can put my screwdriver between the fretboard and the strings and not touch it. It's a pretty beefy fucking screwdriver. It's up there, man. It's, I don't know what the distance is. I don't have a thing to measure the frets, but she's very, very high. She's higher than Senator Socks. But, all right. Got the MI Audio all plugged in. Let's get a grip on the cleans. Okay, that's probably an intonation problem, if I had to guess. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to play any cowboy chords because the high E string is just fucked. It's fucked. Don't worry, folks. This is going to happen real fast, and then I'm going to hit the stop button, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to do a setup on this guitar, and I'll let you know exactly what I had to do to get it up to as much snuff as we can get it. All right, so back with trying to show you the clean. There's the cleans. Let's get chunky with it. Let's get chunky with it. This needs a setup badly. All right, I will be right back. Yeah, it's up for you to watch. Like literally, I'm gonna be like, I'll be right back for a third time, right? And I'll be back, and hopefully it'll be set up. All right, I'll be right back.
1 hour later.
All right, man. So, long story short, when I say long story, an embarrassing amount of time was put into this guitar to make it so it did this. Yeah, over an hour. It still does not play the way that I would like it to, and it's because in relation to the bridge and the angle of the neck, it's way off. So the first time I change the strings, I'm going to pop the neck off, and I'm going to try an old trick they used to use back in the day where you just take a little piece of construction paper and you just put it in there, put a little dab of wood glue on it, just stick it in and sit it on. That little piece of thing will bring that neck up just a little bit, and then I can lower these saddles, which are literally all the way to the top. And I can take the little bit of bow that I put into the neck to make it so that it would, sound as good as I'm going to get it. I understand this is a budget guitar, so me bitching about a budget guitar it almost takes an asshole to do it, right? It's a $650 guitar, but still, it should be playable at $650 because I've had $199 guitars that are playable. This is really bad, but I'm going to be doing mods to it, so I got it on sale for $325. I'm only going to complain because it's a review and it's a thing. So it doesn't like to stay in tune. I think that's a problem with the nut. not anything else. It also could be just because these saddles have had to be put up so freaking high. It's like the fucking ramps. But yeah, I tried every different way you could think of to intonate it. It just, the intonation's not perfect. It's all been compensated without a compensated nut to make it work. I will say though, one of the biggest complaints I saw about these guitars was the fret dressing. But the fret dressing on this thing is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's no clink, 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 clink. It's phenomenal. All right. So yeah, we got the MI Audio Megalith Gamma. Let's chug. Let's chug a little bit. Then we'll talk some more. Let's turn the vocal mic off, asshole. All right, so this is something I need to show. This is, you're gonna have some really shitty room audio right here, so brace yourself. But listen past the chug. Hear that ringing? Check this out. This is noisy as shit. So that's where this little thing comes in handy. And I would say if you buy a Solar guitar,
grab a couple of these. Because if you order 2, they'll send you 1.
Cheap motherfuckers. I'm going to show you a little a little trick. So obviously putting this under, you can't get your finger under there. In order for it to work right, you need to really get a good seal on it. So what you do is you put it down here, you just feel your finger out right here, right? You see there's all kinds of leftover? Put just the beginning down, like so. And grab yourself something flat. I'm using the pink knife of doom, purple knife of doom, whatever the hell it is. And just press it down over it. Now you got that installed. Now you have super quiet chocks. Fucking room audio. Alright, back to the jam.
Okay, as you can tell, it sounds okay. Really, at the end of the day, it's a budget guitar. It does not excuse the fact that it's very hard to play. I know I'm a shit guitar player, but still, I already struggle enough with good guitars. This guitar is fucking horrible. But, again, I'm going to mod the shit out of it. And hopefully in my mods, it will turn itself around. I really want a good guitar for doing pickups, basically. And this just has one, so I can put a quick connect on it. And that's just going to cost me a little time and a set of strings every time I want to change it. But to use an instrument, it has to be fun to play. This is not fucking fun to play. It's just not. I mean, I got the strings as low as they'll go, and they're still... Jesus. They're thick. They're thicker than a Snicker. Like, shit. I don't even know anything I could slide underneath it that would be something everybody knows quite well. I mean, I can drop picks between that all day long, but that's just a pick, right? But yeah, anyhow, I'll get the work done to this, and as I'm modding it, I'm just going to do one piece at a time as I go through it to see how it works. First thing that will get modded will be locking tuners. And probably when I do that, I'll do the nut as well. Just because they could go together. And again, that string dampener, if you use that little trick to go underneath it with something flat so you can push down on it and get it so it literally is going in between each string, that is hella inexpensive. You actually probably, a quick trip to Hobby Lobby, you could probably make that yourself, but still, it works really well. It's actually, it's great. Like, it stops that fucking noise this thing makes. So yeah, wish I would have got two of them, but you know, maybe I have to order them again. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I hate bitching about it. I think Solar, I think Ola started something really cool, and somewhere along the line, I mean, this guitar is like, I see a lot of stuff posted about people talking about quality control is kind of an issue, and I know during COVID they had their problems, but everybody had a problem during COVID. It wasn't just Solar. But this guitar right here, if I was running the ship at whatever facility checks this thing, matter of fact, this was QC passed by WY. If I was running that place, WY would not have a fucking job. He would be XA on the ombre, because this should have never left. Period. It just shouldn't. I know it's a budget guitar and they probably don't put any time into it, but literally the neck and the bridge are not communicating in the way that they should. And there's no way to move it. But like I said, I'm going to take a little piece of construction paper, because it's a little thicker than regular paper and it's a little more pliable, and just put a little bit of glue on it, stick it on there, and then put this on it. Will kind of make that neck go up a little bit like that, and I should be able to drop the bridge saddles down so they're not popping a goddamn wheelie. And it should fix it, but still, that technically should have been done before it ended up in the United States. That's a Spain problem, not an Oklahoma problem, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, blame it on it being a budget guitar if you want, but really at the end of the day, I literally used my buddy's $199 LTD. I think it's an M100, I think. I don't know, it's an epic piece of shit, but it plays better than this does, and that was right out of the damn box. It's $199. So yeah, it should play better than this. I have Solar. I've owned 15 Solars, and less a fretboard incident that everybody was having. And they took very good care of me, by the way. I do. Ola and Luis, I love them. They're awesome people. But that guitar and this guitar, like, I still have the Pepto Pussy over here. That guitar is far superior to this, and they're the same fucking model minus a pickup. And that is 100 times the guitar that this thing is. This is the equivalent of garbage. But it's what's going to make it fun to mod. So, yeah. Now they're like, well, just contact them and send it back. I'm pretty sure somebody already did that with this guitar because the box it came in isn't for this guitar. And the tools that were in it were not for this guitar. I'm pretty sure it was for a 7-string because the box is a little more set up for something a little longer. So, yeah. And I bet you any amount of money it had a Floyd Rose on it, the box that it was sent in, because the tools are for a Floyd. Hip shot wannabe bridges don't need a whammy bar, and they don't need 800 different Allen wrenches. Matter of fact, the only Allen wrench it didn't have in that bag was the one I needed to adjust this. True story. Yeah. Anyhow, it is what it is, and God, I hate making videos like this, but once I'm into the video and it's the truth, you know. So yeah. Any questions? Leave them in the comments or contact me privately, which is okay. And I don't think I'm going to take this in the truck with me. It's really not fun to play, and I go out for 2 weeks at a time, and I do not want a fucking nightmare while I'm on the road. I just don't. So, yeah. It's not going. Because this is just horrible. All right, very cool. Again, my chain is super simple. We got the turd going into the MI audio. Megalith Gamma going into my custom Arachnid 2x12s, which is mic'd up with a Sennheiser. No, I'm sorry, a Shure SM57. Those are Eminence speakers. DV77 and a Man of War. Goes right into that Zoom camera that you are watching my fat ass on right now. That's it. There's nothing else. There's a cord here, and there's a cord in the back that goes to the 2x12. Yeah, and a cord that goes from that microphone to the Zoom Q8N 4K. Yeah. Cool beans. Keep music evil. Bring metal to the children. Don't be a dick. Subscribe to my shit. And I'll catch you in the next video. If you come back. Later, man.